If, for example, they give the model units in one unit label and the actual units in another label, then you have to do some converting. So that's what we're going to practice out of this lesson. And I know that you will have some of these on your homework. So here we have find the missing dimension, use the scale factor 1 to 12. So when it is listed like this, that means that those units that 1 and the 12 have the same unit measure. So if they ask for our answer that we're finding in a different unit, we're going to have to convert. So the first one says mattress. The length is 6.25 inches and the length is blank inches. So our scale factor, well, remember when we look at these, this is always going to be the model. And then the second number is the actual. Okay, so my model, if I want to write it out as a ratio, I might do model over actual. So my model was 1 to 12 for my scale factor. The third piece of information was they told me that the model was 6.25 inches. So model was my top number, 6.25 inches. So now I'll go ahead and cross multiply and divide. So 6.25 times 12, and then divide by 1 still gives me the same answer. So I just found out that I have 75 inches. Now to look at my answer to make sure I have it in my final statement, they did want it in inches, so my final answer here would be 75 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next one. The next one is slightly different. So I'm still going to keep that same scale. Okay, for all of these, it's the same scale model or scale factor. So the next one, we've got a Corvette. The length in the model length is blank inches, so that's what we don't know. And the length, the actual length is 15 feet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cross multiply divide. So when I do that, 15 times 1 is 15 divided by 12 gives me 1.25. So now this is 1.25 feet. Here's where I'm saying it's slightly different because they are asking for that in inches. So I have to go back to something that we learned previously. I think it was back in chapter 2, working with conversions. So if I want to change 1.25 feet, and I'm going to write this off to the side in a different color. I want to change 1.25 feet equals blank inches. Okay, so my conversion, if I don't remember, I can look out of the back of the book. Hopefully you remember the conversion since it is US, but my conversion is 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. Okay, so now I'll cross multiply divide, so I'm going to end up taking 1.25 times 12. Now some of you might know to just go ahead and multiply by 12, and that's okay. So here I ended up with 15 inches. So the Corvette model was 15 inches, and the actual length was 15 feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our next one. So I can keep my scale. Well, I guess I'll rewrite it. Okay, so our next bit of information, it's still 1 to 12. And it says a water tower has a depth of 32 centimeters. So that was the model. So 32 is the top, centimeters. And they want me to change this into how many meters deep it is. So we're going to first do it into centimeters. So we're going to cross multiply, divide. 32 times 12 gives us 384 centimeters. Now we have to remember it's asking for the final answer in meters. So this is where we're going to have to go back to remembering that King Henry dies by drinking chocolate milk, or King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. And then I'll put my M's behind each of these. This is a DKM. Okay, so now I want to change, right now I have centimeters, and I want to change that 384 into meters. So equals blank meters. Okay, so I'm going from centimeters to meters. So 1, 2 backwards or to the left. Do the same thing with my decimal. It's not shown, which means it's here. 1, 2. I ended up with 3.84 meters. So in this part of the lesson, they're having you go back and review those things that you have previously learned.